I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
You don't belong here.
Ashton Kutcher, Amy Smart, Ethan Suplee. The Butterfly Effect, rated R, starts Friday.
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. This is a Tron review, this time for Trevon, as for The Butterfly Effect from 2004. Now, for those interested, if you ever want to request pretty much any type of video, you can either send it directly to my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. The links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you. But The Butterfly Effect I have seen a couple times. Try to remember if I saw it in the theater. I might have, and enjoyed it ever since. I definitely think it's Ashton Kutcher's best performance. It showed that he can do a serious movie. It's a pretty fucking serious film. It's a very dark, ballsy film too, because this is a movie where, first off, I like the idea. The whole Ashton Kutcher plays his character, and throughout his life he's had these blackouts and he doesn't understand why. Then just to a point in his life where this power that he has, he's looking at his journal that he's read ever since he was a kid, and he focuses on the words and what the words are about. He goes back in time, and you'd have him being part of child pornography with Eric Stoltz as this asshole dad to this girl that the Kutcher character liked. And she's, again, the daughter of this fucking guy Eric Stoltz is playing. So, and he set up a video camera. There's this thing with dynamite in a mailbox that gets a woman and her baby killed. There's a bit where his fucking dog gets burned alive. Like, there's some fucking crazy shit in this. There's also prison stuff, attempted suicide, and depending on which ending you see, a baby strangling itself with this fucking umbilical cord, depending on which fucking ending you see. So, yeah, the people who made the film, they were definitely ballsy and said, fuck it. You know, let's make a movie that dares to go into places other movies don't. And I'm guessing that's why the critics took a shit on this, but I feel it's unfair because I thought it did that as tastefully as it could, because it did not hone in on the You got enough to be like, ugh, but not too much to it turned you out of the movie and it disrupted whatever flow the movie was going. It showcases that sadly the world is a dark, sick place. And sadly there's probably a lot of people that have had lives like this kind of stuff. Plus it definitely raises the stakes as he deal with childhood trauma, PTSD, whatever you want to talk about. And then when he finds these notes, he goes back and he sees something, his dog being burned, and we don't see it, but we get enough of it to be like, ooh, which I think was the right call. Because if you really see it and focus on the stuff I talked about, it would be just exploitation. Okay, is that effect good? Maybe the effect's alright, or the effect's pretty good. I'd be going, now I'm losing the movie focus, and I'm talking about the effects, or how realistic it looks, or how silly it looks. If it didn't go that route, I'm like, okay, it's playing too safe, it's being a chicken shit. I thought it played the tightrope fairly well. And Ashton Kutcher, I thought, sold. And also the kid who plays his younger self. They both did their jobs very well. And when he goes to his childhood friend and tries to ask her about this stuff, also about like what happened with your dad, and apparently when she runs off, that led to her suicide. And at the funeral, he leaves a note saying, I'll come back for you. And then the rest of the film is him going to different parts of his life, which then leads to why he was having blackouts in the first chunk of the movie. Okay, now that's explained. Those blackouts was him going back to these different points, and we saw him sequentially first through the kid's point of view. Bad things happen, he's blacked out. What happened? Now we know where that came from. At least in one lifespan, because it does deal with alternate futures, which is an interesting topic, interesting story structure. Because I like the idea of the butterfly effect, that you change one thing, you can change massive things. And some of the complaints from the critics going, well, the changes weren't so massive. What, you want the fucking world to blow up and be fucking the day after tomorrow or some shit? These were fucking massive to me, massive on a psychological level. At one point he changes and things are great, things are perfect. He's with the girl and they're in college together and he's in her bed and things are fine. He's in this prep school and things are going good, but because of something he said before, his girlfriend's brother is a bit fucking crazy and bad things happen. Although I gotta say, spoiler alert, what happens is that the brother of her character, I think he was named Tommy, tries to hurt Ashton Kutcher and kill him. So then he takes it away and beats the fuck out. And I'm like, isn't this fucking self-defense? But apparently not, because he's in prison, maximum security prison. Well, I guess you would think there'd be some kind of circumstances where, well, look at all the bruises, he beat the shit out of me, he was hitting me, he was ready to kill me. So then you would think there's be some kind of extenuating circumstances, but apparently not, so he's in prison. In one, how much do I want to go without, and spoil stuff? For people who haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's a well done movie. But for those who have seen it, spoilers starting now, there's one point where he goes back and he tells one of his friends, you know what to do with this. And he's trying to save his dog, and he does save his dog. But the friend stabs the Tommy when he's a kid in the back. And now this changes things where that kid is now in an institution. And the girl was so distraught with the death of her brother and all that, she's become a drug addict. And that's where Ashton Kutcher, really good performance, was breaking down and going, you're happy once with me. And there's one point where he goes back in time and saves the woman and her baby from the dynamite that some of the schmucks put in a fucking mailbox. But because of that, he got his shit blown up, his arms and legs. But that Tommy, the little dipshit, he was born again, so he's nice now. His friend, who was in an institution before, now he's perfectly fine. The girl was fine. So to him, it's like, okay, everything's fine, but then he tries to kill himself and drown himself. But he gets saved by Tommy, no less. The guy who's, all the other times we've seen him was a sadistic piece of shit. And he's the one who saves his life. Which I think is part of the irony of that. How different histories will change your path of your psyche. I like the fact that he doesn't go back in time for selfish reason at that point. Just, I remember the first time I saw this, I went, okay, he's going to go back in time and risk his friends so that he doesn't have this. So that he does have this, so he does have this and these. But no, they don't do that. I thought that was smart. Instead, the reason he goes back is because he visits his mom, and his mom has lung cancer. And he even says, oh my God, you started chain smoking when I got blown up. When I lost her, you started chain smoking, and now she has cancer. So he's like, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. And it's like the mom, the reason he has this power is because the dad had the power. So it's hereditary. A better hereditary than the piece of shit movie called Hereditary, which I fucked that movie. Why? Watch my review. You don't have to agree, but feel free to watch the review. Fuck that movie. This is a lot better movie. And it didn't get as much of the fucking praise from critics. I'm sorry. This movie's a lot more fucking challenging, whatever the fuck buzzwords you want to say about Hereditary. Butterfly Effect is more effective and to me more fucking crazy than the stupid silly shit they were under Hereditary. Fuck Hereditary. Anyway. So he goes, but the father had this power. So he goes back. And he fucks up, and because he fucked up, he's now in this institution, and he has one last chance. Now, there are different endings to this. If you watch the director's cut, he goes back to when he was inside the womb, and strangles himself. Because there's dialogue about how, oh, you're so special. Each time I had a baby, it was stillborn. But you're my miracle. So that gets you the idea, oh, well, the other babies had the power, and they're doing the same thing that Ashton Kutcher's doing. Strangle itself with the umbilical. Which is effective on a dramatic note. That's the ultimate sacrifice, to go back to when you were in the fucking womb and commit suicide as a baby that's not even born yet. I've never seen that before. I've never heard that before. And I give credit to how ballsy and it's effective emotionally. So I can understand if someone goes that they prefer that ending. But I do prefer the theatrical ending. Simple, but I thought it made sense to me. He goes back to this party because it did say in dialogue before that the reason she stayed with her dad is because to be near him. but as a kid, he tells her the most hurtful, harmful shit to make her hate him. Thus, she will go to her mom, not her dad. I think both kids actually go to the mom, because I guess the brother probably went with the sister. And people go, that's convenient. Well, it works. It works. I don't know. I mean, what's your definition of convenient? I mean, the movie set up, he wrote journal of all parts of his life. They said that before they brought that up, that she stayed as a kid to live with her dad, the piece of shit that he was, played by Eric Stoltz, to be with Ashton Kutcher's character. Take that out of the equation. So it made sense to me. I don't think it was that convenient. And then many, many years later, he's walking down, he sees her, but he does not. I want to say the song's by Oasis. I like the song. I like the song used. And I like the score. That's one thing I want to mention real quick. The score is very well done. Especially, well, really throughout it, but again, depending on which ending you get, either the ending where he's a kid, tells her, again, the most horrible shit at this birthday party to make her hate him and leave, or the ending where he strangles himself with a fucking umbilical cord, because they used the same music. I thought the score was very well done. Very well done. Really enjoyed it. I remember buying the soundtrack back in the day just to hear pieces of that score. But I do like the song. Again, I want to say it's Oasis. And I know there's alternate versions of that where he stops and talks with her. I thought it fit best here, where he looks at her, but he keeps walking. So it's a little bit of sadness, but everything's fine as well. So I thought it struck the right balance. It's not too cheerful and happy, but it's not depressing as fuck. And yeah, I can understand if people enjoy it, that ending, or they say it fits better, but I do like that theatrical ending the best. So yeah, I think this is a really good film. I know it got sequels. The second one I don't remember a fucking thing about. I remember not minding the third film. I think the third film was part of the After Dark horror or something, or 8 Films to Die, or whatever the fuck. I remember not minding the third film. I haven't seen it forever, but I remember not minding it. I remember it not being that bad. But yeah, I love the idea behind it. I love the different alternate futures, because you change one thing. I followed the logic of the movie. I mean, it's sci-fi, but I followed it. The performances, especially Ashton Kutcher, I still think this is his best performance. Yeah. It showed that he can act and he can do a good job in a more serious role. Like I said, the music was really good. Some ballsy themes. Suicide, a woman and her baby getting killed, attempted suicide by drowning in a tub, fucking child pornography. I mean, it goes some fucking places, but again, it does not go too far. I thought it struck that balance well, and I think it's a really good film. I've always thought it was a really good film. I enjoyed it when I first saw it. I still enjoy it to this day. So yeah, Butterfly Effect, I think it's a good one. That's just my opinion though. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.